What's going on, guys? So one of my videos actually went viral, and that's an amazing thing for me. It's an amazing milestone. But that video is this one right here, and basically I finished this SAT practice test in an insane amount of minutes. I actually say under 5 minutes, but it kind of did take me like 5 minutes and 30 seconds. But just to be fair, if I didn't have to explain myself or show my work, I probably could have finished it under 5 minutes pretty easily. And that just comes with practice and experience. I'm not trying to brag. It's just that I know what I'm doing to like a very high extent, right? But this video right here, I want to break down slowly because a lot of you guys were commenting down below. Can you go over this? Can you break down what you did? How did you get this answer? How did you get this answer? So this video right here is going to be a full breakdown of how I got each answer. Okay, so make sure you guys pay attention, watch the entire thing, and I'll show you some of my tricks and tips that I use in the video with that obviously I didn't explain, but I will explain now. So make sure you watch the video and enjoy. So first question, number one. What I do over here, pause it right now, is it's pretty simple, right? I just reduce the left side, reduce the right side, combine like terms, which is combine the x's, and yeah, just solve it. This is like one of the easier questions. You see 6x minus 5, 7 plus 2x. Then I just subtract 2x from both sides, add 5 to both sides, 4x equals 12, divide by 4, x equals 3. Pretty simple. Next problem. Right here, I check the slope, right? Slope is rise over run, okay? So I rose 2, went over 1. So I know the slope is 2. So right there and then, I can eliminate C, D, and B. Bam, A it is. And yeah, I do struggle with moving the paper. Number 3, I know I have to express it in terms of P. So I multiply 6 to both sides, and then subtract O and subtract 4M from both sides. So that way P is isolated. Okay, and this is the equation that you get once you do all that. And that's the answer right there. Again, it's really simple. Like, you just gotta understand this. Now for number 4. Those tick marks means those two sides are equal. You can see the problem. I covered it up right now, but go back a bit. It says RT equals TU right there. It says RT equals TU. So that means it's an isosceles triangle. And the rule with isosceles triangles is that the bottom two angles are equal. So if the top angle right now is 114, 180 minus 114 is what? 66, right? So the 66 degrees left in the triangle to get 180. Divide that by 2, you get 33. So that means R and U are both 33 because they have to be equivalent since it's an isosceles triangle. And that's why I get that. And now you can see triangle VSU is equals 180, and we have two angles, 31 and 33. Add them together, you get 64. Subtract 180 from that, and you get angle V, which is 116. And then there's a 180 angle form right there, right here, 180 angle. So 180 minus 116 equals 64, and that's your answer. Again, nothing too major, nothing too big. Now number 5. I read that the length is 6 feet longer than the width. So that means there's a relation, okay? So that means if the width is 6, the length has to be 12, since the length is 6 feet more than the width. So right there and then, you just do L is equal to W plus 6. That is a relation, right? And that's what I make, or 6 plus W. Right there, I write the perimeter. I write the perimeter of the triangle. And 2L plus 2W equals P added to W plus W. But you can just write 2W instead. And then right here, I substituted 6 plus W in for L. I distributed the 2, and I got 12 plus 2W plus W plus W equals P. So that's P is equal to 4W plus 12. Now number 6. Number 6 uses the transitive property, and I'll explain that right now. I subtracted 1 from both 2x and 5. And why did I do that? That's because I wanted to get 2x minus 1 over here. Because already the problem gives me that 2x minus 1 is less than y. So if 2x minus 1 is less than y, and 2x minus 1 is greater than 4, that means y must be greater than 4, right? That's the transitive property. 5 years later. Number 7. Now, there's two ways you can solve this. You can do a long way, which is subtract 4, square both sides, subtract 6, divide by 2. Or you can do what I did, which would just plug in the answer choices. And it's much faster in my opinion. Now, psychology is, I see that 3 of the 4 answer choices don't have 0, so I plug in 0 first. Oh, I think I do at least. Well, I plugged in -1 first. Once I plugged in -1, I saw that I got 6 on one side, 2 on the other side. So I eliminated all the -1s, and I got 5. Oh, see, I was actually that was smart of me to not try out 0 and try -1 first. Yeah, that's actually good job, pass me. Over here, I factor up the top to take out an x times x squared minus 9, and then now I'm thinking of like how to factor that bottom one, and I get x minus 3 x plus 1, which is the same as x minus 3 x plus 3 over x minus 3 x plus 1, and you could divide the x minus 3's out, so it's all multiplication, and you're left with d. Now number 9, I drew a circle. Make it easy. And the formula for a circle shows you that the center, in this case, is 6, -5, and the radius is 4. The problem said that one of the points at the end of the diameter is 10, -5. I know the center is 6, -5, right? And I know the radius is 4. So that means the other end has to be 2, -5. That's a radius of 4, right? 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So it makes sense. This problem, number 10, is another linear relation. And the linear relation I make is 6d times 4 equals 240. 240 minus 202 equals 38 divided by 2 equals 19. Okay, now that's one way to do it. I can't believe I did it that way. I thought I would do another way. But the other way you can do it is make a relation. And you can say like 2x plus 4y is equal to 202. The x plus y equals 60. And you can solve for one variable, so you can do x is equal to 60 minus y. Plug that in for x in the top equation. Find y. And then that will be the amount people, the 4 people tent. Then you subtract that from 60, and you get how many the 2% tests there were. Or you can just do what I did, which is much faster. Now, number 11, you have to know how to read graphs, right? The solution is -3, right? Solution is -3. So what factor has to be there for, if you put a -3, you get 0. X plus 3, because -3 plus 3 is 0. So already I know x plus 3, x minus 3 have to be in there. So I can eliminate that one. I can eliminate d as well. And there's a bounce. A bounces means squared. So I already know it has to be x squared. So it has to be b. See. This one I just multiply b to both sides, multiply a to both sides, and then solve for each one. Oh, actually what I did in this one was I just picked a value to make this true for a and b. 1/2 times 2 is 1, b is 2, and then you just do it right there. So technically you could have put any values for a and b that would make this true, and then just solved it. You get the same answer. Sometimes you don't have to do the algebra. You can always just plug in values for a and b, or sub in values for like the problems. I think I did that the other one too with the solution set, the -1, -5. That one, this one right here, yeah, I did the same thing. Just plug it in. It's much faster sometimes. Save some time, man. You don't have to do all the extra algebra. 13 was a standard slope, calculated slope, and it said decreased at a constant rate, so I know the slope has to be negative, so a and b are gone, and then I just find the 2 points, which are 4 minus 1.9, 1.913, yeah, 1.913 and 4, 2000, or 2004 and then 2013 1.9, x1, x2, y1 minus y2 over x2 minus x1, and that's how you get the slope. Number 14 uses the discriminant, and the rules of the discriminant are, well, first of all, the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. If it's less than 0, the quadratic has no solutions. If it equals 0, the quadratic has one solution. If it's greater than 0, quadratic has two solutions. So you can see I just simplify the equation, so it's just 1x squared or one quadratic formula, one quadratic equation. So right here what I did was I added 5 to the other side, subtract 8 to the other side. So I got y equals x squared plus 3x minus 7, as well as y equals 5x minus 8. Set the two equal to each other and simplified and set equal to 0. And then I took the discriminant. Or actually, this case actually just solved it all the way. But another thing you can do to take the discriminant. Okay, this one you literally just plug in 0. What's g of 0? -1. So what's 1 minus g of 0? Well, g of 0 is -1. So what's 1 minus -1? 2. You have to know your forms. You have to know how to read quadratic. It's ax squared plus or minus bx plus or minus c. Oh wait, actually I read that wrong. It's saying, what if a is a solution of the equation above, a is greater than 0, what is the value of a? Okay, so I was reading the general form where a would be the constant up here, but in this case it's asking like what value, what's a solution, and you call it a, that will satisfy the equation above that's positive. In that case it would be 3, because you get the two solutions are -4 and 3, but you have to pick the positive one since a is greater than 0, so that would be 3. And this one you just combine the two quadratics. And you take out the constant. See, right here, a will be 1. That's why I misread it as that. But in this case, the general form is ax squared plus bx plus c. So in this case, a is 1, and you just add them together. The common student error right here would be to make the answer 31 and forget to add the 1. In this one, I added the two equations together. I got 4y equal to 6, y equals 3/2. I think this is the famous question where I write too easy. Everyone comments like, "Oh my God, this man is full of it." See, the question right here. Actually, I should actually just break this down. I see that the question has a y equals ax plus b, so it's a linear equation question, and then it says what is the value of b? B is the start, right? It's when x equals 0, so it's the start of a company, the start of the bakery. The initial value, what is it? Well, the first sentence said 8. Boom, right there. Number 19 answered in like 2 seconds. And then I write too easy. Yeah. That was funny. In this case, you need to know the formula. Arc length over circumference is equal to inside angle, or in this case, inside angle is x divided by 360. But in the problem right here, they already give you the ratio of arc length circumference, and that's 2 or 5. So you just set that equal to x over 360. Then you cross multiply, and you get x. I think I'm trying to think about it. What the hell is x? What is 720 divided by 5? 144. There you go. And that's how I did it.